Hi everyone, my name is Chantel and welcome back to another video. Today I will be creating a little sister event from the game BioShock, and these are most of the supplies I will be using. Let me tell you a little bit more about the game. BioShock is a first-person shooter by Irrational Games. BioShock takes place in 1960 in an underwater dystopian world. The little sisters carry a genetic material called Adam that everyone wants. The little sisters are protected by big daddies and they can move around the world of Rapture unseen via the vents in the walls. If you would like to know more about the game, I will leave a link for you in the description box below. I created the design on a sheet of paper and here I am cutting it out. I rolled out a sheet of polymer clay. I'm using Super Sculpey in the thickest setting of my pasta machine. And here I'm cutting around the outside so I have a base to work on. I then move on to tracing the circles for the top part of the vent onto cardboard so I can use them as templates. After cutting out two of the circles, I layer them on top of each other, but I will remove them from each other because I'm gonna put a layer in between, but you will see later. And then placing this onto the base that I cut out in the first place. Then I need another circle that fits in between these two circles. And here I am cutting out the design that's going to be in between the two of them. And here you can see me removing the first top circle, placing this design in between and then putting the other one on top again. Then the vent has a hole in the middle of the top part, so that's what I cut out here with a cookie cutter or a circle cutter, however you want to call it, and placing some extra embellishment around the top part. Then with two circle cutters I cut out the inlet of the vent that you can also see in the actual game as well. And it just gives a little bit more dimension to the actual vent inlet. And another snake of clay just for more detail. Then I created this little square, which basically is 3 pieces of cardboard stacked on top of each other and bound together with some washi tape. After measuring out the Sculpey that goes around the little piece, I put some liquid Sculpey in between the Sculpey and the little cardboard thingy, just to make sure it attaches better. And then I'm wrapping the whole thing with Sculpey. And with some more liquid Sculpey, I attach it to the main piece. Then with one of the tools, I am smoothing out all the edges so it looks like it's one piece. And this always takes a while, but there's the power of editing, so there you go. And here I am just thickening the lines of the design so I can just transfer that onto the clay. I've never tried this before, but it's very effective and I will probably use it again in the future. And then you can cut out your design as what I'm doing here. I like to use glass plates, just pieces of glass from a frame with washi tape around it, so the sharp edges are gone. It can also go in the oven with the washi tape on it. And then I cut out my design. Here I'm stabbing the design into the clay where I want all the main elements to go, so I kind of have a guideline on where I should put them. If you've been wondering why this is a smaller diorama, let me explain. I've been planning this for a while, but there are some channel changes coming. From July onwards, I'm going to create a Harry Potter diorama in 1/12 scale every other month in 2-part videos. This does not replace the Matchbox dioramas. For the months in between, I will be creating dioramas that are not related to Harry Potter. Let me know which non-Harry Potter related dioramas or miniatures you would be interested to see me create. Then moving on to a tool that I don't often use, and that's the clay extruder. If you have a lot of snakes of clay, and especially small snakes of clay that you're using for your project, then I highly recommend getting one. Mine comes from AliExpress with a bunch of add-ons with little extruder pieces that cost me about $8 Australian. And I seriously, I highly recommend this thing, because look at all the little snakes of clay that I'm adding to the design here. And with that, the main element of the BIOSHOCK diorama is done. But now we're moving on to constructing the diorama piece where it's gonna sit on. So I made this little base, and on that base I built a box with a hole inside it. And you can see me cut out this hole a couple of times, because I first had the size of the hole of the actual polymer clay piece, and then I decided that it should be larger because you're not gonna see that anyway. And then I've got the little pipe that goes inside it, which is a toilet roll. And then at the back, I put this little piece of black cardboard that you will see what I do with it in the end. So here I'm just gluing all the pieces together. And of course the inside of the vent needs to be black, so here I am painting it black. Now, because I'm not making a little sister, I still want the element of the eyes to be there. So at the piece that goes in the back, I glue on 2 cutout circles from a glow-in-the-dark star, and then glue the piece at the back. And at the very end of the video, you will see how this turned out. And this part is me going through this thing that I always do, or mostly do in my dioramas, which is gluing on pieces of cardboard so they look like a wall. So that's what I'm doing here. And then on the sides of the cardboard, or not the cardboard, the foam board, I cut out strips and glue them on the sides so you don't see the rough side of the foam board. Now onto the flooring. I chose to go with popsicle sticks again and create a wooden floor. And now the fun part begins, which is the painting, which brings everything together. This is black with white acrylic paints, undiluted, and just straight on to the wall. And then I have diluted with water brown paint that I put on the flooring, and then in between the bricks I put a watered down acrylic black paint, and also on the flooring as well to age it up a little bit. Now for another fun part that I don't always do is adding nails to the floorboards. I think I've done it in the Edgar Allan Poe room, but yeah, it's basically stabbing the ends of the floorboards with a pushpin. Then cutting small pieces of staple or metal wire, whatever you've got and want to use, and then pushing that down into the little holes that you created with the pushpin. And that will create this floorboard effect with nails. Now onto the part that I enjoyed most, which was painting the main polymer clay piece, which is the vent. I started with a base layer of black, actually 2 layers of black. And after that was completely dry, I dry brushed copper on top of it, which gave it that shiny old metallic look that I really enjoy. And then with some craft glue, I glued the whole piece on top of the diorama. I haven't used this for a while, but I love adding moss. So I thought this piece could use a little bit more color, so I added some moss just to finish it off. If you're interested, most of the materials that I use are linked in the Amazon store link in the description box below if you want to check it out. So let's see what the final assembled piece looks like. And this is how the piece came out. I've wanted to create this for a while now, and I finally got to do it. I really like how it looks, and at some point I will actually create a little sister to go with this diorama. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up, it really helps my channel out. Make sure to check out my socials, Patreon site, and hit that subscribe button if you're new to my channel. Thanks so much for watching, stay safe, and I'll see you all in the next one. Bye!